is old cam.
And this is not a spring chip. And today we're going to review a product called a Nexto Extreme. So for a lot of you, especially if you love cameras, you're going, what is the Nexto Extreme? This is for people that are, I would say, probably prosumer camera
prosumer camera people. Like we tried to point out to other people we've talked to with it. It is not, this is for people that are camera literate, you know, on the pro and amateur side, but don't hang out in this side of a store. Because basically, see, the camera people don't want to carry something like this around. They can carry that around in their pocket. It's a big difference. Well, this thing weighs like about...
I know that would make it hard to
This
fall.
weighs like about 10 pounds. The other thing weighs...
well, not quite. But,
yeah,
you know, this is a lot
about
smaller.
10 pounds.
It's a lot smaller.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know what the weight is on it, but it is a lot less than this one. But what we're trying to explain to people, too, is that this does what it's supposed to do. It's a storage device. It's this and this are essentially the same piece of equipment. I think about 20-some gigabytes on this one is dedicated to all the extra functions it does. 600 gigabytes on this one are dedicated to it. I lose an awful lot of space on this one.
Well, now they call this the Nexto Extreme. It's portable for photo video storage. Now this is whether it's standalone, on the go, or battery powered storage.
Yeah, and it's meant to be carried, which we don't have. We don't have the case that's supposed to go with it. But you fit it on your pocket. You basically can hook your cables, like we have a lot of our own cables, but I didn't open up theirs. You hook your cables into the side of the unit, then you hook it into that, and you can go dump the stuff off real quickly.
Actually, we've seen photographers do that in the field where they're actually putting it not on the chip but directly onto a hard drive. So you can either do it that way, or the other option is you can shoot with a camera, of course, take the chip out, put the chip inside. And
then the chip, you know, it's simple, basically short stroke, long stroke, commands up on this button up here, and that allows you to either, you know, it basically does your function. You can save it, you can do this, you can do that, you can verify the thing is working, and basically you can also, if you got, it will tell you if you've already copied these things and not to copy it again.
And we have this plugged in. It doesn't need to be plugged into power.
It runs off a battery power too. We just plugged it in because it works better. You know, basically for demonstration purposes, it's always nice to have things plugged in because it's embarrassing around a power. And because these things aren't actually done in 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes hours to do the 5 minutes.
Well, and part of it is the other plug right here is plugged into the computer. Because here's the cool part about this is you can be out in the field, you plug this in, you back up your
and this is what it's meant. It's meant as a backup. It's a backup system because, okay, look and see that these are a couple of types of chips that use it, you know, flash and an SD card. What happens is a lot of times when you're out, which we've done, we'll sit there and pick the things out, we'll plug them into the units, and then we'll stick the full one in a pocket or in a piece of another bag or something. We tend to misplace them. Whereas in this case, if you simply, when you get it out of your camera, you go stick it like that and make a real good copy. When you misplace this one, you've actually got a copy of it.
You've got a backup copy of it. So actually that part's really cool. The other part that I thought was really cool because, and they've got a whole
it's where,
list
when you
of
look
things
at it,
on
like
there.
it's a 500 gigabyte unit, I'm thinking, and there's about 25 gigabytes to all of the other functions that you can do with it. Which is basically, you say, well, what happened to all of my extra? Well, it's in the function. It's got a
Well, that always happens because even if you buy a storage device that's got 2 terabytes, you don't get 2 terabytes with the storage.
No, but they think you do. This is a 2 terabyte thing that's only got 1.7 terabytes on it, 1.75. That's functions. It's got a lot of.
Well, here's one really cool. It synchronizes data between the folder, right? For the Nexto Extreme and the Nexto Extreme of an external USB hard drive connected to it. So you can actually literally take this, like we said, connect it to a hard drive. So you can sync it to make sure all your copies are over there.
Basically, you don't have to go to this unit. You can simply go from this one to this one by just simply plugging in from the one piece over here into my unit over here. and that's quick. I mean, and this one, that one has automatic transfer. This computer has automatic backup. So
well, and this has a couple different things in here. In fact, on the bottom, because remember we showed you can have either plug it into an external source. There is a battery input right here. Yeah. So a lot of you, if you're a photographer, you're out there in the field.
Yeah, and basically the bottom have the battery packs. You know, basically they used to be belt things. Now they're just they're unit. A lot of them are like this size, which is we're going to get to. It gives you an idea. You just simply plug your battery from here into there. It's the same type of battery you use to.
Well, actually, pass this one over. This is the Nexto Video Storage Pro.
Yeah, that's
so as you can see, this one is a smaller unit, both this way as well as this way.
Yeah, but each one of them has a different function. The function on this one basically is strictly backup and transfer, because you can't really see what you're doing until we get over here, which we've actually done already. And we've taken a transferred a picture from this chip over to this storage unit, and then from this storage unit into this computer. It's not it's the same thing as if you were basically taking your thing, when you have it at home, sticking the chip in the deal.
Well, and you know, part of it is really easy. I mean, this is, you basically press the button, it tells you, and your instructions are, is it a long hold or a short hold?
Basically, they call it a long stroke or a short stroke. Yeah.
Another part that I thought was really cool is the self-test function, because a lot of times photographers will go out there in the field and, you know, it's like you cleaned off your chip is good, right? So that's the assumption, and you take a few pictures and then you look at it.
And then something's wrong. Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, well, you know, let's just say you're at an important event. You cannot recreate, it's a red carpet event or a wedding. Oh my, right? You cannot recreate those moments.
And we carry bags of media with us, but the problem comes is that at the end of a long day, it's the same thing as the prosumer. A long vacation day, he starts running low on stuff. And he also sometimes gets, you know, problems with the material he's putting into his camera, because he wasn't as, you know.
Because you're not as fresh, you're getting a little tired.
Yeah, and we can tell you, these chips are not all made the same. And
as many of you have discovered.
Basically, you can stop a maddening problem if you know, why is this chip not working like it's supposed to? Well, because this one will tell you that the chip is good, but but then when you go check, but it's the chip that you're using may not be the quality of that one. That was meant to rock. A lot of basically there's the black chips and the blue chips. Don't buy the blue chips.
Well, you know, remember all the instructions on the different chips where they try and get you to pay more, and you think,
there's a reason.
Is there a difference? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a reason why. It's just like, we're going to try to explain too. This one carries 2 gigabytes. This one carries 500 gigabytes. This one you don't stick in, actually, in my case.
You're not going to stick it in your pocket.
Actually, I could stick it in my pocket.
People will stick on their belt.
Yeah.
But part of it is I mean, actually, I'd say a red carpet event, or especially like a wedding, is a perfect example, because you're not recreating it. But here, there is a self-test function, so basically you can test your chips before you're using them.
Well, actually, I did all right. I didn't know I was doing it, but I did verify the chip without. Well, because you know, we've been playing with this thing for a while, and the more we play with it, the more you basically are able to learn it does. So. It does an awful lot. It's programmed to do an awful lot. And it's basically an awful lot in a small package. But the thing is, it does what it's supposed to do. It is not an immediate playback. There is no screen on it. It is a storage device.
There's a little monitor, but those are for the directions.
That is a more convenient version of this one.
And the other part I think is great is that if you are on a trip, let's just say, for example, you're on a trip and you're running around, you've got your laptop, but you don't have an extra storage drive.
That's right. Which means you can keep your stuff on this one instead of putting it on your laptop.
Or instead of bringing DVDs to burn.
Yeah, I'm bringing DVDs to burn, because in a sense, it almost all balances itself out. This costs the same amount as this. You know, this gets more, but you got to carry this in your pocket. I don't think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, part of it is, it's just like the small storage devices. Because they're smaller, they cost you more. But this has those added features, which, if you're a photographer and you're out in the field, I don't know how else you would end up doing it.
No.
Unless you're carrying your laptop.
No, actually, we'll see.